Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and here we are again today with Michelle, David, and Damien. In our last video, we talked about IELTS myths and misconceptions, and that video went so well. We got so many views. You can check it out on our YouTube channel here. I'll link it above as well. And what we did in that video was we asked you guys, do you have any questions for our IELTS experts? Because it's very rare for you to have access to um, an array of IELTS experts, IELTS examiners that can answer your questions. So in this video, we're going to take all those frequently asked questions and answer them for you. So next question is about task 1 writing, particularly academic. And a lot of students get confused or are worried about writing a conclusion. So do I need to include a conclusion in task 1 academic?
I can take this question, Chris. Now, we do not need to write a conclusion. First, let's think about what is the difference between a conclusion and an overview. Now, in writing task 2, a conclusion is really, really important. A conclusion is the summary of your main ideas. Now, when we are completing an academic task 1, you're not summarizing your own ideas. You are summarizing the most important features of that diagram, whether it's a chart or a graph. So we don't need a conclusion, but it is very, very important to have an overview with the key features clearly identified. So a lot of students often ask, where should I put the overview? At the beginning, at the end? Now, this really depends on personal preference. Do we, or should we, give a summary of the main ideas and then go into the details? Or give all of the details first and then give an overview of all of the ideas and key features? So as long as that overview is there in that task 1, whether it's at the beginning or whether it's at the end, is not important. What is important is that it clearly reports the key features.
Yeah, the contents, the quality of the overview is the number one thing. It's the most important thing in the entire task 1 academic response. Where you put it doesn't really matter. I teach my students to put it after the introduction, because my brain works like that, where I like to look at the high level features and then go into detail, whereas other students, they like to look at detail first, so they'll write their details paragraphs and then think of the key features, so they put it at the end. But really, to be honest, it doesn't matter. And be very careful about if anyone tells you that if you write your overview at the end or at the beginning, you're going to automatically fail, like that's not actually true. But you will find it difficult to get a high score if the contents of the overview is not that good. Any other input from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, my brain doesn't work the same way yours does. So whenever I see one of these questions, I'm immediately into the details. And I know that for myself, that this can sometimes make it difficult for me to then step back and get the main features, because I'm just like detail, detail, detail. And then by the time I step back and look at, what are the just overall key features, I have a hard time separating those from the details. And so what I tell my students is, it doesn't matter where you write it, but if you don't understand the purpose of the data, first, before you start digging into the details, it's going to be really hard to figure out what the key features are and how to separate them from the details. But then it's also going to be hard to separate your details logically into 2 details paragraphs. So where you write your overview really makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. But understanding the purpose of the chart or of the graph and getting that straight before you really dig in, I think is really important.
Yeah, an easy example would be a line graph over time. So what is the purpose of that line graph? Someone looking at that graph in the real world outside of the IELTS exam, what are they trying to get out of it? a line graph over time is trying to show general trends. So is something going up, or is something going down, or is something staying the same, or is something fluctuating? And understanding the purpose will really help you identify those trends. So that's a really good point. Damien?
Yeah, no, I agree with what everyone's saying. I think rather than spending more time worrying about where to put it, really focus on writing effectively, because it is the most important part of task one. You need to show the examiner, I understand this graph, before you look at the small details. Okay, so or it could be at the end, but you have to show the examiner that you do understand what's going on generally as well as specifically in terms of details.
Thanks very much for watching. If you have any other questions that you need help with, there's two things you can do. Number one, you can go to our website, IELTSadvantage.com. You can also check out the rest of this YouTube channel. It's got hundreds of videos that'll help you with your IELTS preparation. Second thing you can do is send us an email. We answer 100% of the emails that come into us. Chris at IELTS Advantage is my email address. You can send me an email, and either me or one of the team will answer any IELTS questions that you have. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you have any other questions as well, feel free to put them in the comments below. We read all the comments, and we'll try our best to answer any of your IELTS questions. David, Damien, Michelle, thank you so much for your help. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.